So here's the aftermath of our 95 Cavalier from Bolton, Ontario. Yes, this car was pre-ran coming to Bolton, and if you guys can tell, the front end went much higher, and I actually lost the bottom rad support, and that in turn is what took me out. As you can see, my transmission cooler line has a beautiful cut through it, and so does my rad hose, so I know exactly what that's from. The bottom cross member broke off and then went underneath the car, and I ran it over like 4 times trying to get, I knew it was broke off underneath me, I just had to get it out. In turn doing that, I cut some lines, lost all my transmission fluid, that's what took me out. Because I burnt the transmission out of this car, it is not worth fixing. But other than that, this tire here, I ended up getting that because transmission wouldn't shift from drive to reverse, so I got stuck in the middle sideways and I got cross-tracked. So, but that's an easy fix. That's only 5 bolts to replace the strut, so I wasn't worried about that. I actually have the parts in my truck to fix that. Back end, the gas tank protector did save the day again. As you can see, it stopped a lot of sheet metal. It actually punched through the trunk, and all the floor buckled around my gas tank holder. So all you guys think that this gas tank holder is overkill, you take a look at that. That gas tank holder saved this gas tank from becoming loose. It actually ripped through the floor right there as well. Like, because of how bad the back end is on this car, I was trying to keep using it because I knew it was dead. I knew the back end was dead, but I knew that I wasn't bottoming out. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to use the back so much that I started to bottom, which I'm still 8 inches away from bottoming out on the ground. But every time I backed up, as right before I got to somebody to hit them, the car would go sideways and I would take them all right in this corner. And that right there is where all the floor went. Like you can see, the floor is just mangled. Like everything has came in. But I was trying to use the back, and if I was able to get the back more square when I hit them, it would have been a lot better. But as I was backing up, the car would turn like 45 degrees, and I would take bad shots to this passenger side rear corner. And it's not what I wanted. I actually, near the beginning, I actually thought this tire got ripped off because Buddy came up real hard beside me from the back and went this way and drove right through me. I thought he ripped the whole tire off, but I was mistaken. It's still there. Car still runs and drives. Well, it doesn't drive, but runs. Starts up no problem. I like these Cavaliers. You know what? After you do a lot of these Cavaliers, you get pretty used to them, and you get pretty common to what they're gonna do, right? So I did bring a spare strut to the demolition derby just in case I bent one, which I did. And if I was able to go back into full size, like say if I got a flat tire, I bent a strut and I couldn't move, I had all the tools to change my strut and go back into full size with this car. But because of the transmission line, I got taken out really early. These 95 motors, this was the first one that I did. A couple buddies of mine have ran them. A lot of my figure 8 buddies run them constantly. So I did do a little bit of stuff to prepare for this car going into demolition derby. Like, I did move the coil packs. As you can see, the coil packs are now in my cowl. All I did was take a little piece of trailer wire and I extended the wiring harness up, right up to there. Did something else too. I just, I cut off the rear brakes. I know I did that. Just moved all the wiring harnesses and the computers and the fuel lines and all that, but it's just little things that help these cars survive, right? Like even this here. See how it's all zip tied down and it's all tucked off nicely off to the side? It's all in how you get these cars ready for the track. You could spend days upon days welding to them, but if you don't move coil packs and you don't let the water flow freely through these cars, it ain't gonna do you no good. But anyway, that's my aftermath of this car. Pretty happy with it turned out. I got a first place finish in Beeton, Ontario, which is a very soft derby. And then I got I think it was a 4th place in Bolton. But you guys got to think, like, I just have a Toyota Camry bumper on the front of this. There's nothing special. There's no threaded rod. The only thing that's half decently special about this car is the gas tank protector. But other than that, this is pretty much a bone stock car. This car passed Beaton's Tech, and Beaton's Tech, you're not even allowed to bring out a welder. So, pretty happy with it. This is my oldest Cavalier I've ever ran, and pretty happy with it. That's all I got to say. We're just going to use the Camry now and put this Cavalier away, and start on some other cars that we got here.